Hey guys, welcome to Comfy Cozy Up. So today I'm excited because I'm talking about another one of my favorite genres. So I love romance. I'm forever gonna read it. And if you can add some romance with some historical fiction, even better. So I always do the top 5, and this year I read way more than last year. I've read 29 romance. 18 of them were from one author. And I did an entire video on those books, so I will link it down if you haven't seen it. But Alexandra House, she took the cake this year. She was new to me and I was hooked. So, you know, getting down to the top 5 was a little hard because, you know, I had so many to pick from. But I would say the 5 that I came up with are sticking to novels. I had to take a novella off, which was Shoe by Alexandra House. I love Shoe. It is so good. I've read it twice. It's the novella, so I said, you know, slide it off. And I put another book that was a little bit longer. It wasn't even that much longer, but it's considered a novel. And that is by a Caribbean author, which is Go Deep by readathon. Make sure I'm pronouncing her first name right. And she is from Antigua, Bermuda. And that was the last romance I read, and it snuck in. It is a friends to lovers story. And what I love about it was how juicy, but also how realistic it was. You can see that happening. You can see people who have been friends for years and then never thought about each other outside of that, and things happen. In this case, they've been friends for over 30 years, and they know each other for like the back of their hands. They were really close friends, open, and she is a writer, and she was pretty much struggling to write something steamy because she hasn't really had a good date in life, and she's been struggling with that. So he came in the picture and motivated her, but it turned into something else. There was a particular thing that happened where is a device involved. I freaking holler. I thought that was so funny, and I'm thinking, oh my god, then I'm thinking that might be fun. So if you read it, you know what I mean. So I loved it. I thought it was really, really good. So that would be 5. Number 4 is going to be historical fiction, which is Wild Rain by Beverly Jenkins. This book gave me a part of a story I'm hoping one day experience. That whole idea of being everything but the child. When you think of romance, there's always that love, marriage, kids. You really ever see romance where a character is not interested in having kids, but wants love and wants a man that's okay with that? You just don't see it. When I read this, I was just like, oh, she just really did it for me with this. And not only that, because it's a historical fiction, she created a character that went against everything, including that, you know, you see her on the cover wearing pants. That wasn't happening. You know, she's doing jobs that were considered mostly for men, and she was doing it. And then, you know, this man who is from a free slave, and he comes to this town and seeing how people are living totally different from where he was. The struggle is not the same. And that was also something that I was just like, oh, you know, it just gave you extra. I will always treasure this book. I will always treasure this book because it's just not done in a lot of romance. It's just not. And feeling this. Then we have number 3, and that is The Art Principle by Helen Wong. Now, I love this because, again, it's a different kind of romance. Because you have a character who has a form of autism where she does not express herself. She is mainly agreeable to anything and haven't really experienced a lot of things. So when you add romance in the mix, when you're struggling to even express yourself the way you want to, it's hard to tell what you want. It's hard to explain what you want in an intimate way. And this one, you see that. I think for me, reading this, you think of people who probably struggle with that because intimacy is very different for a lot of people. And you can tell that by what they read in terms of romance and how they take it. And for me, it's just an open eye to something like that because I'm totally different from this character. Now I'm gonna tell you. But in this, you see how the author did it in a way where it was a slow burn, but then when it happened, you're rooting for the character, and you're rooting for them because they both needed something from each other. And this these two characters, how they come together is just different. I did a review on this. I'm gonna link it, but it's really a really good thought process went into making a book like this. And I think if you are not that kind of person, you might struggle with this and thinking whatever. But there's people who are like this in real life, and being able to express themselves and being able to say yes or no, or to not be one-sided when it comes to intimacy. People struggle with that. So I thought this was good. I really enjoyed it. I really got the message, and I really like how it was a slow romance. It wasn't quick at all, but when it happened, Wong was for the cause. So this was a yes. Number 2 is Real by Candy Ryan. You give me Harlem Renaissance. You give me history, and then you add 2 characters that just was made for each other. This is what you give me in this book. Now this is about an actress. She's an undertaker on Broadway, so she's never get the shine, and just so happened one night she was able to get the shine because the main actress was not there, and she took over. And she had the opportunity of her lifetime to play an actress in a movie. Now, what the author did was combine different women from the Harlem Renaissance era into one character that is who the main character is portraying. And so you got history in there. You have history about the dancers in early film and how some of them, certain big name actors who basically stole their dancing and stole all of that, and the main choreographer never got credit. And she was dropping things throughout it, but then she also dropped an illness. The main character has an illness, and you learn a lot about that illness from me that I didn't know. And then you see the sacrifice that the main character, whose name Cannon, the camera, and how he, was willing to sacrifice because he fell in love with his woman. He was, and it was such a beautiful but still entertaining, and still dropped the history. And you know how I am about my Harlem Renaissance. So I was very much into this. I love it. I love the modern take on it and how she incorporate the past with the present, that kind of deal. Candy Ryan is just good. It's just good. She do know how to write a book. I give her that, and she do know how to get some buzz, because this book got buzz and I wasn't sure, but it was worth it. I suggest you read it. Now, number 1. I'm not even going to go there because you already know who the number 1 is going to be. 18 book? Oh, please believe she was going to be on the list. And that's going to be Let Me Love You. I have to go with the first book because that first book made me forever continue and will forever read an Alexandra House book. And it's just Big South. Big South. And because, I was going through ethic withdrawal. Big Shot to swoop in there and took over this year. And he is that rapper that has the money, the big brother that took care of his sibling. A bit, arrogant. And then here comes Joe that wasn't having it. And how he was willing to do whatever for her. And there's so many obstacles in these two relationships. They were getting swing left, right from both corners. And you wondering how they're going to survive this. What's next? What's going to happen? And when sometimes you're like, oh, come on. We can't take no more for these two couples because there's just always something because someone wouldn't let them be. But it was full of drama. It was, first of all, the first 2 pages in, I already knew I was going to be hooked. And I read this so quick because I couldn't not turn the pages every minute. And the sad part is, I don't own a copy. I need an entire box set of all 5. Because to be honest with you, it's the entire McLean Brothers. Because when you get to Let Me Free You with the poet bookstore owner, he's another one. He's another brother. You can't get enough of him. You just can't get enough of him either. So that entire series to me is number 1. The entire McLean Brothers. That entire series, there's something to love about each book. She wrote a series to get you hooked. And then, of course, I couldn't stop. 18 books from one author. That should tell you. Y'all should get to know her. Pick her up. I cannot wait to get into her next 2 books that I do have on my Kindle. But, that's my wish list is I want the entire McLean Brothers. I want the physical copies. So anyway, that is it, guys. That is it. That's the books that I felt like, this year gave me all the loves, the feel, the sexy entertainment, juicy, memorable, made me wish I had a man. I'm still single. Yeah, but that's okay. I can dream about it, right? Yeah. Give me a little bit of Big Shot with Nolan. Come by. Yeah, send one of those. Anyway, I'm gonna end this here, guys. I am so thrilled. 2 more videos to go. Thanks for watching and continue watching my videos every day. And yeah, I am smiling because this is one of my favorite genres. I could just think about some of the stuff that happened in some of these books and I'm like, yeah. Anyway, bye guys. Yeah, bye.